Good morning. This is Dr. Doug Willen. I'm here in Brooklyn. I practice in New York City as a chiropractor. I'm also do some clinical nutrition. Uh, I did not prepare stats this morning. I did take my temperature. It was 97.1. I know I like to put that up when I do a post. But I don't know. I just woke up angry this morning. I was in work yesterday and it was really strange day. None of my staff was able to come in. Either they're not feeling well, they don't know if they're sick yet with corona, but they're just not feeling well. I also have other staff that just doesn't want to come in at all because they're scared. Don't blame them. So went in by myself, or prepared to work by myself. I had one person help me a little bit by letting people in and into the office. The woman that cleans the office volunteered to come in and run up and down to the ground level and unlock the security door, which was locked now. The building's never locked. In 10 years I've been in this building, but now it's locked, of course. So at least I didn't have to run down to the street in between patients. And as a chiropractor, I'm probably not an essential type of doctor, but I got special permission from the city to see a few patients that are in a lot of pain and really couldn't wait. And they were kind of on the verge of whether they should go to the hospital or not. And that's why I called to find out, because the New York City hospitals are already in a place of being overwhelmed. So they felt that if I could give them some type of relief and keep them from going to a medical facility, that would help. So I needed permission from them. I needed permission to get into my building, work that out. And I saw a few people, worked for a few hours yesterday. Felt good about that. Today I'm home. There's nobody to see today. And I just woke up just angry. I'm really pissed off at... This is the thought I had when I woke up. So we call ourselves here the United States of America, and I think we need to call ourselves the separate states of America, because that's how we're acting. So we're so... And then this comes down from the leadership. This comes down from President Trump and his staff and how this is being handled. There's really no leadership from the top, because if there was leadership from the top, they would just say, all right, we're one country. We're not just these separate states with all separate agendas and separate rules and separate ways and policies of how they're handling this. Do you see? So right now, New York City is the epicenter of the United States and soon to become the epicenter of the world. And we, according to Governor Cuomo, who I think does get it, we have, I think, 3,000 or 4,000 ventilators. We need 30,000. So we're not even close. They are trying to invent a way on the fly of sharing a ventilator between two hospital beds. That's kind of cool. I mean, in my office, we have electric muscle stim, and we can have 4 ports, so 2 wires go to each patient if you put it between 2 beds. So I understand that maybe that will work, but that would only bring us from 3,000 ventilators to 6,000 ventilators, leaving us 24,000 ventilators short. So there is a stockpile of 20,000 ventilators that the federal government has that are not releasing, because they're thinking about it and seeing when they want to release that and how to deploy that. So Governor Cuomo was saying we should all just pounce on New York City because that's the hot spot. And you need to erase state lines right now and just say that's where the attack is. That's where the numbers are spiking. Go squelch that first. Then, as soon as you start to lower that number or get a handle on it, then you deploy to the next hotspot, which will probably be California or I know the state of Washington, but they have 2,000 cases and we have 12,000 cases here in New York. We're 6 times and going faster. So it's not even slowing down. It's just going faster. Every 2 days, we're doubling numbers. Do the math on that. I mean, if that was your bank account, you'd be really excited if you were doubling your money every 2 days. And it's that same exponential growth that is happening with this. And we need help. I have a physician friend and colleague, and she's not an emergency room physician, but a good friend of hers is. And the friend in common was at a Bronx hospital 2 nights ago and stayed through the night. And 2 people died while she was on her shift, and the morgue was full. So she had to continue her work of the room that she was working in for 4 hours with 2 dead bodies no more than 20, 30 feet from her. And that's kind of creepy, right? And her entire time as a physician, she's never had to like not have space in a morgue. So this is already happening. It's not like when will it happen? It's happening now. And granted, some people are going to have a mild time with this, but the people that are going to have a severe time with this will start to overwhelm the hospitals. And what happens, what a hospital when it's overwhelmed is that people don't even get into a room. They put the people in the hallways or they're lined up out the street. They can't get in. So imagine if that's your mother or your father, or your daughter, or someone that you love, which we don't even know those people yet because we haven't had enough tragedy hit home, hit to the heart where you go, oh my God, now it's me. Now it's my family. Now I need to care about this. So you're going to see them bring your parent or your daughter or your mother or your favorite person at work, and they're not going to even be able to get in the hospital. And they're going to be running a fever. I talked to an old friend and patient who lives in California. So here I am in New York City, but we're on the phone yesterday, and she's been popping 103 degree Fahrenheit. So that's 4 degrees above normal. And what happened with her is about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she got tested because she's been feeling ill for a little while. And she tested negative. So she came home. But now she's lost her sense of taste. She's running 103 degree fever. And she can't get tested because she's already been tested. So she's waiting. So she's just self-quarantining and seeing what's happened. But this is crazy. And so let me go back to the state line thing. So there are places here in the United States, like Florida, for example, that's not taking this seriously. They have not put down firm policies of gatherings, of making everyone stay in. And I don't know about you, but when I think of Florida, and I might be wrong, so you can crush me in the comments below, but when I think of Florida as a place with a lot of senior citizens and a lot of people that go to retire, not just from the United States, but also from Canada. A lot of Canadians move to Florida or to these warmer weather states to have a easier lifestyle, warmer weather most of the year or the whole year, where they can live their last 10 to 20 years of their lives in a place with good health care, hospitals, and great weather. But these are places that are very vulnerable. And a week ago, they allowed the spring break beaches to be filled with people congregating, thousands of people just partying on the beach. Now, these are young people that might not express symptoms if they get it, but they're passing it to everybody and bringing it to other parts of the state or bringing it home to their states. So we have places like Florida. We have places throughout the United States that have not put into firm social distancing policies, reducing the number of public gatherings, transportation. They're not jumping aboard. And this is where I think it comes straight down because from the top. Because if our president didn't say yesterday, the day before, that by the end of April, at Easter, everything's going to be fantastic. Everybody will be back to work and business and the economy will be booming. That's bullshit. That's not going to happen in that time, especially if our administration doesn't immediately put in national policy, not leaving it up to the state. And the national policy has to be the same thing that we're doing in New York and San Francisco. It has to be strong. It has to be firm. People can't cross state lines if they're sick. They have to isolate and quarantine. But we also need to help each other across states. So I would love to see a call go out, and let's say there's a state like West Virginia that doesn't have as many cases yet. They might have 10,000 people that can swarm into New York City and help us here do what we're doing here and move medical equipment, healthcare professionals, and masks and things like that and move it here to New York. And we pounce on New York and see what we can do. And as soon as we get like a little bit of leverage, we're moving to the next swell. Because there's going to be a swell. There's a swell here in New York. Yesterday we had 12,000 cases. To give you an idea, California has 2,000 cases. State of Washington has 2,000 cases. So this is where the epicenter is right now. Then you deploy in the next place. But also, not just deploy, but we're working as a team. We're working with the knowledge that we're all working together as the United States of America, not the separate states of America. And then we also help other countries. So let's say in the next 5 or 6 months, the United States is starting to really handle this as far as flattening the curve and getting up to speed with taking care of people as they get sick, and we don't have people laying in the hallways of a hospital not being able to get care. There's ventilators for people, and we are, in a way, kind of handling it. Well, we go to other countries that are now being hit. So maybe there's a country that was nothing hit yet, but now they're being hit. So we fly in and we start erasing the boundaries between countries and make this a worldwide team effort. And again, that would come down from the leadership. That would take presidents and prime ministers and kings to get with the program and start working together as a coalition. I know we have the World Health Organization, but they are powerless when it comes to leaders like President Trump, who is clueless. He's delusional. He thinks he's doing a good job. He constantly pats himself on the back, and it's not happening. Not only is it not happening, but people are dying. Leave whatever comment you want, but that's what I woke up with this morning.